Every day it's something else. Every day there's something that we shake our heads about. I posted yesterday at PFT when going over the various things that have gone on the past 2 weeks in the NFL, which feel like 2 years or maybe 2 decades. What's next? And who would have had Miles Simmons on the bingo card? Tyreek Hill being traded to the Miami Dolphins. That was a stunner. No one saw it coming. Obviously, it happened because the two sides, Chiefs and Hill, unable to work out a contract. They reached an impasse. So off Hill goes, and just another day in the NFL. I'm wondering what's next. And I want to start the rumor that the next one is Kyler Murray. Of course, if I say that, then people are going to say that I'm saying Kyler Murray's getting traded. But I'm just trying to open my eyes to this crazy one after another offseason in the NFL.
I saw you say that to Shireen Williams on the show yesterday. So now that you've said it 2 days in a row, it's like you're trying to make fetch happen here, Mike. And I don't know if it's going to happen.
Well, I've been trying to get Baker Mayfield to the Lions, and it looks like that's not going to happen. So I'll speak it into existence. Kyler Murray to the Falcons. We'll see if we can pull that one off. But what a crazy – we're so used to it now. It's like slipping into a hot bathtub. Eventually you get used to it. I think it will feel weird if there isn't something every day. The NFL has fundamentally changed, and a lot of this is a byproduct of the Los Angeles Rams, F them picks, right? You have more teams willing to make the move and make the sacrifice because, as Ron Rivera said in justifying the Washington Commanders' search for a quarterback earlier this year, who remembers what the Rams gave up for Matthew Stafford? All we remember is they won the Super Bowl. So from Russell Wilson to Deshaun Watson to Devontae Adams, now we have Tyreek Hill with 5 draft picks being sent from Miami to Kansas City, a huge contract being given to Hill. And the Chiefs, see, that's here's the thing. Here's the thing. You need to have two teams who view the world very differently. You need to have the Dolphins with the F them picks mindset. I'll go get Tyreek Hill and I'll give up all these picks and we'll pay him. But you need to have the Chiefs who value the extra picks and value the extra cap space and justify it to themselves saying we're losing one of the best players in the NFL, but look at all this stuff we're getting to rebuild our team, to go find a Tyreek Hill for a lot less money than what Tyreek Hill wants, a guy a lot younger than Tyreek Hill is. That's the other side of this. You can't have every team say F them picks. You got to have half the team say F them picks and the other half say pluck them picks. That's what you need. That is what you need. Otherwise, these deals don't get done.
I see what you did there with pluck and a word that rhymes with F. Yeah, that was actually
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, all right. We can go on with that. But I think you're right. I mean, MBS pointed this out today in a post at PFT that there are literally a quarter of the teams this year who do not have a first-round pick. But I think it also makes it a lot easier to say F them picks when you're either A, going after a franchise quarterback, or B, you are trying to get somebody who can elevate somebody who you think may or may not be a franchise quarterback. And I want to wish a special welcome into Tuanon today because I know that you all are listening. But when you have somebody who you think might be a franchise quarterback and you can elevate them into a different realm, yeah, that's why you go after somebody like Tyreek Hill. And I think it makes it a hell of a lot easier to stomach if you're Kansas City, giving away somebody who is the caliber of a player like a Tyreek Hill when you've got Patrick Mahomes behind center and he touches the football on every single play, because that guy is going to make the players around him better. I think that is unquestionably true.
Yeah, and it's a daring move. It's a bold move, and I think that Mike McDaniel will come up with many ways to use Tyreek Hill in that offense. He's not going to be Deebo Samuel in the sense that he's not going to run between the tackles, but you can see the jet sweeps, the little touch passes that have become in vogue in recent years. You get Tyreek Hill around the edge, he runs for 15 yards, runs out of bounds, doesn't take the hit, gets up, keeps going. And you revolutionize that offense, and you don't need a guy who's going to throw it 70 yards down the field, which is good because they don't really have a guy that's going to throw it 70 yards down the field. But if you can buy enough time for Tua Tagovailoa or Teddy Bridgewater, you have a guy who can get open. And even if you don't actually throw it to him, having that threat to stretch the field opens up the underneath aspects of the offense for Jalen Waddle, for running backs, for whoever and wherever they throw the ball on the plays when Tyreek Hill is just taking the top off of the defense and forcing the Dolphins' opponents to cover every blade of grass on the field. I mean, that's what the Chiefs' defense, or not the Chiefs' defense, the teams defending the Chiefs have had to do since Patrick Mahomes arrived, because he can throw it anywhere on the field and Tyreek Hill can get it anywhere on the field. You have to cover the whole field. The Dolphins don't yet have a quarterback who can throw it anywhere on the field, and maybe that's the next step. Maybe that's the move in 2023, is to go get that quarterback, but we'll see how it goes this year. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Dolphins do because, look, they're still in the AFC. They're going all in for Tyreek Hill. That's great. They're jeopardizing their ability to grow a nucleus of young players just to get one guy who's a 28-year-old receiver who's not going to run like he currently runs forever. But they're also in a pretty tough division in a cripplingly difficult conference, and it underscores the fact that there are a lot of contenders in the AFC, and the Dolphins now have to be considered one of them, and there's only 7 playoff spots, and this year is going to be nuts in the AFC.
Yeah, it should be. But, you talk about Jalen Waddle and being there underneath. I would say that he's a guy, who runs a 4.37 40, and he can also take the top off a defense at times. And so with both of them on the outside, you were sort of alluding to this, but you're going to have more things available for guys like a tight end and Mike Gesicki, who is now back with the Miami Dolphins. And I'm really curious to see what Mike McDaniel can come up with for this offensive scheme. It's one of the friendliest offensive schemes for quarterbacks in the entire National Football League. I think we know that based on the way it's spread to different teams, right? In the 2 teams that were in on Tyreek Hill in the Jets and also the Dolphins, both have offensive play callers who came from that Kyle Shanahan tree. Mike LaFleur is the offensive coordinator in New York, and he also is the brother, of course, of Matt LaFleur, who now is with the Green Bay Packers. So, this is just a really interesting move because it makes the Dolphins really dangerous offensively. And I think the fact that they added somebody like John Armstead as an offensive tackle is really going to help them too, because that's going to help all that protection. And it's also going to help them running the ball as well. So they've got a lot of speed. And I'm really curious to see how Mike McDaniel is going to use all of these different guys, because when he started to talk about, the Dolphins offense and all the different guys who were there, Jalen Waddle was somebody who was really, really excited about. And so I think adding somebody like Tyreek Hill can only make Jalen Waddle better. It's just going to be a matter of, well, can your quarterback get things done in a way that makes them actually take their game to another level? And I think the jury is still out on Tua Tagovailoa when it comes to that.
Best receivers Miami has had arguably since the Marks brothers, Mark Clayton and Mark Duper back in the 80s, but they had Dan Marino. That was back before Miles Simmons was even born.
Don't discount O.J. McDuffie, all right?
Who was his other guy? Who was his number 2?
I know, but I'm just saying you better mention O.J. McDuffie.
I said best 2. Well, it wasn't O.J. McDuffie and Randy Moss. It was O.J. McDuffie and somebody not named O.J. McDuffie.
O.J. McDuffie and I went to the same high school, so that's why I got to mention O.J. McDuffie. You got to put some respect on O.J. McDuffie's name, all right?
Yeah, but he was there 20 years before you, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't.
10 years.
Hey. Hawken alums, we support Hawken alums. That's all I'm going to say, all right?
All right.
Their most
Tyreek
famous guy.
Hill emerges from the transaction today with a new contract, 535 million fully guaranteed at signing. 72.2 million will be fully guaranteed by March of next year. There's some fluff on the back end. I'm going to post the details at PFT. It was called a 4-year, $120 million extension, which would be worth $30 million a year. The last year is like $45 million. So that last year is just fluff aimed at bumping up the average to 30. It's not a $30 million per year contract. I don't know why people do that. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Like, you're already going to get hit up by every friend, relative, acquaintance you've ever had. If people start thinking you're making $30 million a year, everybody's going to want some of your money. I guess it's not going to be that much different than if it's actually 24. But still, I don't know why people want those numbers to be inflated. I don't when it's not the truth. But that's part of the game that we play, and the agents have a lot to do with it because they want to be able to parlay these contracts into new clients.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.